Hear more, listen to the podcast. Just search for Hancock and Kelly.
Are Democrats ever fired up after President Biden's State of the Union address Thursday?
The very idea of America is that we're all created equal and deserves to be treated equally throughout our lives. We've never fully lived up to that idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I won't walk away from it now.
Critics say the speech was more appropriate for a campaign rally than a State of the Union address, with President Biden repeatedly blasting former President Donald Trump without ever actually mentioning him by name, and instead referring to him as his predecessor. Though President Biden struggled with words at times, he avoided any major gaffes, displaying passion, wit, and stamina in the nearly 70-minute speech. Give us your highlights here, Michael. He did yell a lot.
It went well. It went really well, and my fingers were crossed the whole time, and I think that will probably be the best performance the president gives between now and the election. He's probably got to do one more speech like that at the Democratic convention. Democrats are on pins and needles. Having said this speech was spot on. Went after the Republicans right away on Ukraine, brought up Ronald Reagan, went after them on abortion and the stuff that's going on now in Alabama, went after them as it relates to Israel and Gaza and holding things up. And then let's not forget the border. I mean, Joe Biden hit a home run, and then to be followed up with that disaster of a response from the Republicans. Not only was it a home run, but it was they canceled the game and said, Joe, you won.
Home run for Democrats?
It was
with a Katie Britt response.
It was
Senator from Alabama.
It was a squibber down the third baseline, and he reached first safely, is what that was. It reminded me, I was in line at the grocery store the other day. Some guy thought he got buy two, get one free, and the cashier said no, and he started yelling at her, and I thought, wow, that sounds like our president. But did he meet the bar and exceed the bar of what many were expecting? The answer is yes. Did it persuade voters that he's a better candidate? I don't think so. I think it comforted the Democrat base, and it was a campaign speech.
Some polling shows he got a bump.
Might have gotten a bump. You often do out of the State of the Union. I thought the Republican response was, pretty dramatic.
Is it a lasting bump?
Potentially. Look, I lament the fact that we've lost the standard State of the Union, but this is the new world we live in, and he delivered, and therefore we've seen it now in polling.
The past week also brought us the Super Tuesday primaries and Republican candidate Nikki Haley's last stand against former President Trump. Haley exited the race after Donald Trump won 14 of 15 Super Tuesday contests. Haley won only in Vermont. The former UN ambassador under President Trump did not endorse him. Instead, she urged him to earn the votes of her supporters. John, we now have 8 months of a Biden-Trump campaign.
Yeah.
What about that and Nikki Haley?
Well, it's going to be the longest general election campaign in modern American political history. The fact that Biden was able to name his opponent in a State of the Union address, that's never happened before. Because this thing is decided, it's over. It was over before Super Tuesday, and Haley made it official. But this is what we've got.
Can she hurt him in November?
Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Haley?
absolutely. I mean, if she continues to hold on the sidelines. But listen, I am relieved, grateful, and my prayers were answered that she is not the Republican nominee. She wouldn't have had to have campaigned. She would have walked into the White House. The Republicans, blinded by this Trump stuff, continue to go with them. He may be the one person Joe Biden can beat, and I'm grateful.
You see it that way?
Well, here's what I see. There are a sizable group of people in this country, 25% perhaps, that don't like Donald Trump or Joe Biden. And when you look at polling data, that's the crosstab you want to look at. Where are those voters going on the ballot? Because that's going to tell the tale of what's going to happen in November.
RFK Jr. maybe. I don't know. We'll talk about it another week. Still to come on Hancock and Kelly, Donald Trump now focused on getting Joe Biden to debate him. Can Biden really just say no? And a new St. Louis version of the game Monopoly. Little Hancock and Kelly input.